Forget the scary stories for a moment. Picture Iran not through a camera lens, but through your own eyes, standing on a busy sidewalk in Tehran. The hum of traffic, the scent of fresh bread, and a chorus of street vendors drown out every horror headline you have ever heard. In this Iran documentary, we get closer than any distant report dares. We are not here to repeat tired lines. We are here to listen to what the city whispers when microphones switch off. Number 1. The real battlefield. News outlets shout that Iran is extreme, isolated, unmovable. Yet many families care less about politics than about finding dinner tonight. Just beyond Tehran's sleek highways, past towers wrapped in neon, ads sit neighborhoods, invisible to travel shows. Houses made from patched brick and stretched tarps lean against each other like tired friends. Electric wires hang by plastic rope. Poverty is not hidden, it is daily oxygen. Children race through dusty alleys laughing, even when their shoes have holes. More than 160,000 kids in low-income zones were out of formal school in 2024, says the Ministry of Welfare. Books cost money. Bus fare costs money. Sometimes even a pencil is out of reach. Yet resilience beats louder than despair. Parents share rice when there is barely enough for supper. Teenagers read homework aloud to younger kids when no teacher is around. Grandmothers run tiny corner shops that trust neighbors to pay later, proving honor can fill cupboards when cash cannot. You will not see these small victories on the nightly news, but they bloom every single sunrise. Is this the whole story? Absolutely not. Tehran, a megacity of nearly 15 million, is a wild puzzle of opposites. Medieval bazaars sit one block from glass malls flashing European labels. Rooftop cafes overlook subway lines and buzzing startup hubs. Street artists spray calligraphy on ancient brick next to blinking LED billboards. Drive 10 minutes, and the scenery flips again, shattering every neat label outsiders love to stamp on the land. Number 2. The Iran they refuse to show. One tired cliché claims Iranians still ride camels to work. Step off any train in Tehran, Isfahan, or Shiraz, and that myth vanishes in one breath. High-speed metro cars glide under the city. Cashless cafes beep with quick-scan payments. Traffic jams mix locally built sedans with shiny imports. Fiber internet in many districts uploads gigabytes quicker than some European capitals. Heavy sanctions have not frozen imagination. Engineers built and launched homegrown satellites that beam data back every orbit. Universities now 3D print rocket parts in labs open round the clock. Tech meetups share code for Persian language AI models that rival global players. Researchers push frontiers in nanotech, aerospace design, renewable energy, and medical imaging, all on budgets that would shock Silicon Valley executives. Scroll Instagram, and the account-rich kids of Tehran erupts with photos of Lamborghini caravans, marble penthouses, and midnight pool parties under neon floodlight scenes that would not look out of place in Miami. Drone delivery trials drop fresh bread onto balconies, while gaming cafes host late-night esport tournaments watched on giant projectors. Of course, contrasts remain. Mountain villages still use donkeys on steep paths. Shepherds guide flocks the same way their ancestors did. Yet only kilometers away, smart city projects pilot solar streetlights and app-based buses. Iran lives several versions of the present at once, and that vibrant mix more than anything makes the country feel alive. Number 3. Iranians are not Arabs. From a distance, it seems easy to lump the entire region into one basket. Same heat, same alphabet, same faith, right? Wrong. Iran is not an Arab nation, and most citizens are not Arab. The biggest group is Persian, but the social fabric also interweaves Azeris, Kurds, Laz Arabs, Baluchis, Turkmens, Armenians, and Circassians. What ties everyone together is not one bloodline, but a shared cultural story stretching for thousands of years. Iran's epic poem Shahnameh still rings across playground walls. Nowruz, the spring new year, fills city squares with colored eggs, wheatgrass, and joyous music. People speak Farsi, an Indo-European language with its own bounce and poetry. Using the Arabic script does not make the language Arabic any more than using the Latin alphabet makes Indonesians Dutch. Speak Arabic on a Tehran bus, and many passengers will smile kindly yet shrug because the words drift past like foreign music they enjoy but cannot sing. By squeezing countries into the wrong label, we erase color and texture. Nuance, contradiction, and richness fade into a gray haze. This section tears the haze apart with a single shout. Number 4. Is Iran really aggressive? The image of a permanently hostile Iran did not form by magic. Decades of tension with the United States plus sanctions and fierce speeches dominate global headlines. Swap the headlines for a history book and the pattern shifts. In modern times, Iran has not started a major war. Its longest, bloodiest fight began in 1980 when neighboring Iraq crossed the border. The conflict dragged on for 8 brutal years of defense, not a conquest. That fact does not erase complex regional politics, yet it shows a picture far less one-sided than breaking news tickers imply. When you zoom and you notice millions of ordinary people who simply want peace, steady work, and a safe place to raise their children. Reality sits between fear and fact, and it deserves honest examination. So when someone asks what is Iran really like, you can answer with confidence. It is harsh and generous, ancient and futuristic, divided and united all at the same time. And none of those truths can be captured by a single headline or a single myth. Today, a single rule shapes Iran's defense playbook. No first strike, ever. High-ranking commanders repeat it like a mantra, insisting it anchors every training drill and budget meeting. Yes, the armed forces look large with hundreds of thousands in uniform. Yet raw numbers can fool the eye. The Stockholm International Peace Research Institute tracks cash, not hype, and their charts show Iran spends far less money per citizen than Gulf neighbors such as Saudi Arabia, the United Arab Emirates, or Qatar. The arsenal looks big on paper, but wallets speak louder than weapon counts. That gap matters when judging intent. Influence by proxy is real. Tehran supports allies in Lebanon, Iraq, Syria, and Yemen. Yet firing the first shot carries costs it has long avoided. Strategy can sound fierce without crossing a red line. Visit a street market, and you will not meet warriors planning invasion. You will meet shopkeepers counting dwindling cash, university graduates hunting jobs, and retirees stretching pensions. Their anger targets sanctions, not distant borders. War slogans rumble abroad, yet bread prices hit home harder. So is Iran truly on the march, or has a loop of politics and media amplified every flex until myth feels like fact? Often the loudest drumbeat echoes farthest from the lives it claims to describe. Number 5. Religious, not radicals. Black banners drape city squares each Muharram, while loudspeakers recount tales of martyrdom. Viewers abroad see only those images and assume an iron grip of faith, but religion inside Iran moves through many gears. The state is Shia-led, yet the social map is more mosaic than uniform tile. Sunni fishing towns at the southeast coast. Armenian churches ring bells in Old Tehran. Jewish families gather in synagogues that have stood for generations. Zoroastrian fire temples keep flames alive in Yazd. Belief also slides along a quiet scale. Some citizens pray 5 times a day. Others quietly sit out public rituals. And a growing number test the line between observance and private doubt. Public piety often blends with family expectation, social custom, and local law, creating a negotiated daily rhythm rather than a single rigid march. Rituals look intense because they carry centuries of storytelling, music, and theater. Part sermon, part social glue. They feel communal, not coercive for many participants. Painting every Iranian as an extremist erases that spectrum and silences the personal tug-of-war between faith, culture, and modern life. Number 6. Life is not gray. Stroll down Enkalab Avenue, and surprises arrive one after another. A rock guitar riff escapes a basement rehearsal space. 2 women in bright sneakers glide by on e-scooters, hair loosely covered or not at all. A food truck sells kimchi tacos beside a stall offering saffron rice. The scene feels more Brooklyn than Bunker. Tech meetups fill refurbished factories where coders demo Persian language chatbots. At night, film lovers pack private living room cinemas, streaming indie releases through VPN tunnels. On university lawns, students debate philosophy under plane trees, quoting Rumi and rolling in the same breath. The energy crackles with ambition, even while firewalls block favorite apps. Yes, security cameras watch and censorship lists grow, but creative workarounds grow faster. Cartoonists hide sharp satire inside children's book art. Designers print QR codes on t-shirts that reveal band songs when scanned. Every obstacle breeds a fresh hack, turning limits into unexpected playgrounds. The result is not monotone. It is a kaleidoscope where tradition argues with neon, and where oversight meets a generation skilled in digital hide-and-seek. Number 7. Beyond the desert myth. Hollywood loves endless dunes and camel trains, yet Iran's map laughs at that narrow frame. True, the Kavr and Lut deserts sprawl wide with shimmering salt flats that scorch under summer suns. Still, they share the country with snow-capped peaks, emerald forests, and cool shores that smell of cypress and tea. Follow the Alborz Range north, and you will reach the Caspian coast in 2 hours, trading Tehran smog for thick jungle and sudden rain. In spring, cherry blossoms blanket hillside villages, while fishermen haul sturgeon at dawn. Head west, and the Zagros Mountains rise like a stone wall, collecting heavy snow that feeds turquoise rivers slicing through limestone canyons. In these valleys, Kurdish shepherds guide lambs across carpets of wild tulips. Even deep in desert provinces, life adapts with flair. Windcatcher towers cool adobe homes in Yazd, turning hot gusts into gentle breezes. Night sky tourism now draws photographers chasing the Milky Way across silent dunes. At the other extreme, snowboarders race down Dyzan's high trails, warming hands with cardamom tea before another icy run. Most residents live in bustling cities, fertile plains, or mountain towns, far from desert isolation. Calling Iran a land of nothing but sand misses cascading climates, varied livelihoods, and the resilient spirit that rises in every setting. Landscape and lifestyle resist one-size labels, and so do the people. That truth shatters the final myth and leaves only a vibrant, unpredictable reality. Forget what you've heard about Iran being a place without education. Walk into any university in Tehran, Isfahan, or Mashhad, and the truth hits you instantly. Students flood hallways carrying laptops, swapping lecture notes via Bluetooth, and crowding around notice boards full of robotics competitions, poetry readings, and startup events. Here's something shocking. The Ministry of Education reported that by 2025, nearly 60% of university students in Iran were women. That's not just breaking stereotypes. It's completely rewriting the narrative of Iran's future. Across cities and rural areas, UNESCO's latest numbers from 2024 show more than 85% of Iranians can read and write. That's better than many neighboring countries. Students debate complex ideas like data science, robotics, film theory, and international relations. They study not just to get by, but to shape their world and tell their own stories. Education here is not without obstacles, though. Online content is censored, and some topics are off-limits. But that hasn't stopped Iranians from quietly pushing boundaries using private libraries, hidden lectures, and VPNs. This is their quiet, determined pursuit of knowledge. Number 9. Women in Iran. Step into classrooms across Iran, and women aren't just present. They dominate. They lead research teams, publish scientific papers, and challenge outdated systems, even while the odds stack against them. Iranian women are not just studying. They're running businesses, writing laws, reporting news, and engineering solutions. They balance careers and families, sometimes doing both at the same time. And while policies often try to hold them back, Iranian women find creative ways to keep pushing forward. Yes, the dress code here is strict, And people think that wearing a headscarf defines everything about Iranian women. But the reality on the crowded sidewalks of Tehran tells a different story. Although hijabs are legally required, Iranian women turn them into statements of individuality and defiance. Look closely. Bright tunics, tailored coats, fashionable trousers, and scarves worn loosely with attitude. Bold lipstick, sharp eyeliner, painted nails, and shiny rings. These aren't just beauty choices. They are survival tactics. Women use fashion to assert their presence and carve out freedom inch by inch. So, the scarf hasn't silenced women. It's become their way of speaking louder. Number 10. Iran's modern traffic. People often claim Iran is frozen in time, crushed by sanctions, and left behind. But step onto a train in Tehran, and reality changes fast. Trains run smoothly. They're clean, air-conditioned, and packed with passengers heading to jobs, classes, and daily errands. And this isn't Europe or Japan, it's Iran. Tehran, Mashhad, Shiraz, and Isfahan have built some of the most efficient metro systems in the Middle East. Tehran's metro alone covers over 200 kilometers with more than 100 stations. In 2025, new extensions connected surrounding towns, making transportation easier and cheaper for thousands of low-income families. Iran's railways don't just stay underground. They stretch from the Persian Gulf to the Caspian Sea, linking provinces together with modern electric trains. It's a lifeline for millions and proof of progress, even amid harsh economic challenges. Healthcare in Iran follows the same surprising pattern. Despite pressures from sanctions, Iran's medical system remains affordable and widespread, with over 900 public hospitals nationwide. Community clinics provide basic care deep into urban neighborhoods and remote villages alike. And Iran isn't just keeping up. It's leading in organ transplants, stem cell research, and cancer treatments. Patients from neighboring countries even cross borders seeking medical care. Iran faces real struggles, but its progress is undeniable. Number 11. Iranians don't hate tourists. Everyone's seen those unsettling images. Angry crowds shouting anti-Western slogans. But land in Tehran, and reality instantly flips. Within minutes, someone is helping carry your suitcase. Soon, a stranger gives you directions, and by evening, you're invited into someone's home for dinner. The truth is, most Iranians don't hate Westerners. Their anger is directed at policies, not ordinary people. When they chant, it's usually against sanctions, invasions, and double standards, not tourists. In fact, as a traveler, you're often welcomed warmly as a rare connection to a wider world. Ask anyone who's been to Iran. The hardest part of the trip is politely declining the fifth offer of tea in one afternoon. In Persian culture, hospitality is more than kindness. It's a source of pride. People go out of their way to ensure you feel safe, comfortable, and fed. Instead of hate, you'll face endless curiosity. Locals will eagerly ask what you think of Iranian food, poetry, and architecture. And if you're open enough, they'll show you hidden corners most cameras never see. Final thoughts. Iran beyond the headlines. The deeper you explore Iran, the harder it becomes to believe any single narrative. This isn't a place defined by one image or stereotype. It's a complicated blend of tradition and innovation, struggle and strength, darkness and dazzling brightness. The only real way to understand Iran is to stop watching from afar and start walking through its streets yourself. Be willing to ask new questions. Don't just ask what you think you know. Ask what you've never considered before. Iran is much more than the political headlines that dominate screens. It's alive, complex, colorful, and contradictory. To truly understand it, you have to experience it firsthand. If this episode changed how you see Iran, share your thoughts in the comments below. We'd love to hear from you. And if you enjoyed exploring beyond stereotypes, subscribe to Global Homeless News because the world is never just the stories we've heard. It's the places we choose to truly discover ourselves.